Hey guys, I got a weird build to show, and this is fully meme build. This is not a build that I would ever recommend. This is Tempest Shield with Archmage, Indigon, Assassin. This is probably one of my oldest meme builds that I ever did long ago, like 7 years ago. And now with the Archmage and Indigon combination, you can actually push the damage of Tempest Shield quite high in PUB. I was able to push to 500,000 average. But there is an issue with that, and the issue is, I guess, Archmage and Indigon combination, or just the way Archmage works. Now, the first thing, I made a mistake choosing Assassin. Scion would have been way easier because you could get Scion, Ascendant, Assassin, and Necromancer to get the Bone Offering affect you, which would give you much more survivability and way easier to cap your block. And the way I'm kind of capping my block is using basically Little Pride Jewel to get Glancing Blows Keystone, which doubles my block chance, but I take half of the damage from blocked hits. The way I made a bit more tankier is that I got a shield with life and mana on block percentage, and I'm capping my block, at least for attack block, with the Rumi's Concoction goes to 75 and spell block goes to 60%. Obviously, I'm not clearing maps just with the Tempest Shield. That would take years to level the character. Well, not years, but much slower. So I'm using Orb of Storm to boost the clear speed and to increase the mana cost, because Indigo needs to increase the mana cost. You know what? Maybe I'm gonna talk about the issue, the biggest issue with this. It's not the damage. The damage can be decent, but the issue is actually Archmage. And maybe not many people know that Archmage has a massive drawback. If you consume too much mana and your mana cost becomes too high and you cannot cast a skill, you actually lose Archmage for your current skill. So let's say I would be using Tempest Shield. You can actually see the damage. So it's dealing, let's say, 20k average hit and cost 1100 mana. If I cast Tempest Shield, the damage goes to 50k and the mana cost 2.8k. This is only with the Voidbringers. I'm not actually using the Fever Mind anymore. Now let's look at again after I cast Orb of Storm. Boom! You see the damage. The damage dropped actually, and it doesn't go back up. So basically, if I consume too much mana and cannot cast Tempest Shield again, I actually lose the Archmage part of the damage to the Tempest Shield. And this is happening because people think that it snapshots the damage. It doesn't snapshot the damage. It's the Archmage is not based on mana spent, it's based on mana cost, and it updates the damage every time it changes, like if the Indigon powers it up. And this is a massive drawback for skills that consume lots of mana, like even Orb of Storms. Look at this Orb of Storms, 221k, 51k, 347, 203, 50k, 185, and it changes like that simply because the mana cost changes. If it goes too high, now it's, let's see, 3.5k, 3.5 thousand mana cost. If I cannot cast the skill again, I actually lose the Archmage. The Tempest Shield actually goes to 5000 mana cost, and this is only using Voidbringer. If I were to use 2 Fever Mind, I would literally lose the damage as soon as I cast Tempest Shield. Actually, I can show you that. Take the Fever Mind, place it in here, place it in here, and now the mana cost, base mana cost is 1700. The average is 30,000. If I cast it once, boom, lost the damage, and it doesn't go back up. The only way I could maintain this damage if I activate the shield, I keep blocking, keep refreshing it, and then just using Orb of Storm to maintain the mana but not go too high. If it goes too high, it drops the damage. See, mana cost 4000, cannot cast it anymore. I could get a lot more mana, but with this build I would also have to sacrifice a lot of things because I also have to get quite a lot of block. Actually, it's not that much, but because of Glancing Blows I doubled the block chance, so it's not that bad. So that's the biggest issue. If you could kind of solve that issue, or if you wouldn't use Indigon, the damage would be so much less. Let's say, yeah, let's keep the Fever Mind. Damage 30,000 without Indigon. You just always 30,000. So I mean, with Indigon, you are getting so much damage, but it's just so difficult to maintain it and so difficult to balance. It's just not worth doing it. But I want to discuss other things that I did for the build. The easy way to get more damage and mitigation, I'm using obviously Fortify with the shield charge, because since I'm taking half of the damage from blocked hits, I need to be tank enough, because otherwise I will be dying, and I need to be tank enough as well. So I got shield charge with Fortify. I also got I don't have any dodge because I want enemies to hit me. That's another part. You need enemies that aggressively try to kill you and not just whack you once in a while or use some degen. So I got another thing with the cluster jewels. This thing is giving me physical damage reduction if you use Warcry recently, and chance to deal double damage if you Warcry recently. And I'm using Rallying Cry for that. Another one is Rallying Cry cooldown recovery speed, and also a nav. A nav also gives more damage. Another thing is you can actually link Rallying Cry with Second Wind, which increases the cooldown recovery speed and also gives an extra use. I just thought that Second Wind only works for like movement abilities, but I guess it works for any cooldown skill. So you actually get to use two Rallying Cries, and using Rallying Cry because I am using this one to get damage taken gain as mana over 4 seconds, which is very nice. And other than that, obviously building mana as much as I can on this kind of poor build, using the Random Catalyst to get some leech, and just in general it does give decent amount of damage. And the rest just going through the usual mana nodes. But like I said, you could as a Scion get offerings to affect you. Your offering skills also affect you, but they have 25% reduced effect on you. So you could use then Bone Offering, which does give a block chance, which does give a lot of block chance, and also you recover flat amount of life when you block, which would boost survivability quite a lot. You would have less crit chance, but then again, assassin, as an assassin, I have way too much crit chance. It's not needed, and also a lot of crit multiplier. I am linking, well, this is kind of a plan, this is the actual build. I'm also using Impulsor to help with the clear speed, and it does help a lot. Without Impulsor, I mean, this is not supposed to be a normal build, but I just try to incorporate Impulsor to help with the clear speed, because I just wanted to rely on Tempest Shield, but in the end it's just not practical. I mean, and still sustaining and managing the mana is just pain in the butt. As you saw in the clips, trying to do tier 14 map was just painful, simply because the damage is just so inconsistent. If you cast Orb of Storm and your mana cost goes too high, 7.7k 7.6k mana cost, damn, that's with your mind. If it goes too high, then you lose the damage from Tempest Shield. You may also lose the damage on Orb of Storm, so you start dealing less damage when without Indigon. It's just a mess. So I'm quitting this build. I'm gonna start a new build. I should also mention I did try using Mana Storm, but Mana Storm is not really useful. When you think about it, you're getting so much flat lightning damage from Archmage that getting a bit more flat damage from Mana Storm is not that great. You may instead of Indigon use Mana Storm. The damage may be more consistent, but as you see, the average damage goes from 31,000 to only 33,000 because of Mana Storm. So is it really worth it? I don't think so. You can get much better shield that would give you more damage, and anyway you would want life and mana on block, which by the way is a bit difficult to get on the shield. The cheapest one I ever saw was like 1 Exile. So I mean, why am I thinking? I'm talking like someone is actually gonna follow this build. Anyway, the build is done. If you wanna copy this build, I will leave a path for building import code in the description. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.